Well, in true Dasra social impact style, which is where I started my Dasra career, can I get everybody to stand up? Come on, we've only got 15 minutes to go. We might as well shake it out. Good stuff. Everybody can sit, have a drink of water, be attentive. Thank you. I won't make you sing Tushar's songs. Well, what an amazing day. And what an amazing week. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I guess I have a question. Have we hit Madhukar's 50 crore target for governance yet? Anybody willing to put their hands up today? We're at 16 crore. I can be the auctioneer here. No? Well, we look forward to seeing how people join the movement and contribute to that. Now, I have a one-question quiz for all of you. What do the following have in common? India's largest and India's oldest foundations, 35 dancing entrepreneurs, and the UN General Assembly. Anyone? A day in the life of Deval Sangvi? No. In fact, what it is Dasra Philanthropy Week. What I want to do is actually take you on a little bit of a journey through what we've been doing for the whole week and not just for the day, because I think it's phenomenal work. But it also reflects everything that development sector and that Dasra does in it. So, this week, we have seen 70 of India's finest social organizations graduate from 2 capacity building workshops. Between them, they have budgets of 350 crore, significant amounts. But I was also thrilled to hear that not only have they graduated and formed amazing lifetime friendships, but they've already formed 60 new partnerships in the single year they've been working together. What an amazingly powerful thing to bring these people together. They also, well, indeed, are we having a clap there? No, don't worry. Audience participation is very welcome. They also had such a fun night on graduation that the Vodafone Foundation insisted they're invited to the next party. So, and as Tarun also announced, we've really taken capacity building to the next level. We've launched the Dazzler partnership with the Harvard Business School. This is the first time they've done something like this in India, where we bring together foundations, CSR, NGOs, and government. And we look to influence 250 crore of funding at the first class, and we really think we're going to bring together partnerships like we've never seen before. So, move forward to Thursday and the BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange. We had a brilliant day on empowering adolescent girls. And in fact, a challenge was laid down to corporate India. If they wanted to make a difference, they needed to be funky. I don't know if anyone has ever been funky at the BSE. But that day at the BSE welcomed over 150 corporates, NGOs, and foundations representing up to 500,000 staff and hundreds of millions of customers, female and male. And the panelists and speakers laid down a real challenge to put girls front and center of every intervention, be it education, sanitation, livelihoods, or any other. Vodafone, a great partner of Dazzra's, showed incredible scale. They showed what a corporate in India can do. They've left behind their fund and forget checkbook approach and taken a truly strategic plan. They've influenced 1 million lives to date, but in the next 5 years, they want to influence 15 million more, positively make a difference. I think it's incredible ambition. Yes. And I have no doubt they'll make it happen. It was reinforced to us how important school and sanitation are to girls. An additional year of schooling reduces infant mortality of her child by 15 to 20%. And sanitation has the highest single ROI in development sector. Every dollar spent delivers $9 of benefit. But there are so many challenges to being a girl, particularly isolation and lack of the right information. And we heard on our technology panel how they discussed how mobile phones can truly make a difference and use technology to create a virtual safe space. A really striking comment from Aditi Gupta, who runs Menstrupedia, was, if a girl can't talk about a natural biological process, how can she talk about violence against her? Mobiles really should be a girl's best friend. So, I was also incredibly proud. I've joined Dazzler again 2 weeks ago after having been involved for 2.5 years with them. And seeing the Adolescent Girl Program, the $30 million Dazzler Girls Alliance with USAID, the Pearl Mile Foundation, and the Kiowa Trust, which has mapped 1,800 organizations, featured 74 of them in reports, directed a combined 66 crore and into 54 organizations that are addressing Girl Challenge. Now the Alliance is looking to raise 200 crore for 200 organizations. Do you want to be part of that? Yes. Our day yesterday on both governance and mobile kicked off with presentations from 34 of India's up-and-coming tech and governance social organizations. And there was a funny exchange, and I have to take my hat off to the students. These were many incredibly learned people with decades of academic and management experience. Some initially begrudgingly, but all ultimately very happily, submitted themselves to the Dazzler DSI program. And in the open class feedback at the end, one very learned doctor said, after the first day, I wasn't going to come back. I mean, being told to do something when we're the studs is difficult. But she saw the course through. And another accepted how valuable it had been to be pushed outside of her comfort zone. And I think it's just brilliant what the DSI team have done with these incredibly learned people. So, that group certainly appreciated being put in front of an incredible group of funders as well. So, we also saw the first launch of the Mobile for Governance Rule of Thumb program, or report, and heard from our esteemed panel about how the paradigm has shifted. And we've heard more of this today. From being a government for citizens to where citizens now need to engage with the government. But mobiles come with a warning. Tech is not the only answer. Grassroots engagement and implementation is totally essential. It's not a silver bullet. And there's a funny little story. Transparency is not going to be easy, and we know that. Because in one program to digitize information, a government official was recorded as saying he would rather part with his life than part with his papers. Priceless. Okay, so, and the final piece of yesterday, before we get on today, was the fact that why the UN General Assembly comment at the beginning. And in fact, Dazzler is partnering with the OECD to promote greater collaboration, which is all part of today as well, between foundations, corporates, and the government. And we kicked it off with 20 very significant contributors yesterday. But I think what is awesome is that we are looking to create a framework that we presented to the UN General Assembly in 2016. So again, an awesome piece of work, or kicked off. Everybody still awake out there? Yes, good. Okay, so today, we have had a truly fantastic gathering of philanthropists, foundations, NGOs, private sector. And it is only by bringing together these people that we can hope to build a nation of equality, progress, and opportunity. It's an incredibly serious subject, and we've had a remarkable day on it. Madhukar shared the very touching story about his father, thank you, wherever he is, about what a long journey it's been that he's been pushing for such a long time. And he laid down the challenge to us to be better citizens. In fact, as he said, democracy is not a spectator sport, and we need to safeguard it. So let's get those pledges in. Okay, the ground up panel, so inspiring from the ground up panel, I have to say was a little harder for me to take quotes from. But I couldn't fail to notice the incredible response that the room had to the people in those panels. And it's just a classic example of either getting out to see them or bringing them in to show everybody what it is. And I would encourage everybody to get out into the field who doesn't anyway. I know most of you will do. But really the message for me was that each of us need to take ownership and be brave, regardless of the skepticism of our families and communities, and also wonderfully reaffirmed again how amazing women are at making a difference and inspiring the next generation, even if their children might be a little tough to handle. And actually, I mean, on a personal note, those videos are so powerful, so emotive, and I would encourage everybody to get them in front of your families, get them in front of your friends, get them in front of your colleagues at work. So I know they'll be on the Dazzler website soon, so do please share them widely. So, on to Rohini. Wow. As one of my people next to me said, she is a world leader in philanthropy. We are incredibly privileged to have heard from her. In fact, we should make a book of Rohini quotes because it is just one endless set of quotes from start to finish. But what she called on us as philanthropists to do was was a call to action across philanthropists, the frontline people, and the ecosystem builders to take risks and to get on with it. And in fact, I will quote her because it's awesome. If we want to make a society we want to live in, then we need to take some risks. Trust the entrepreneurs, and the magic will happen, which I know we all believe in. And just as we need food, education, and access to health, we need connectivity. And of course, we need to do everything at warp speed. So let's do that. Okay, we had the Bain report, which flagged the need for urgency. Awesome news on giving, doubling the number of people in India giving. But we need to fire up that tier 2 group. And I think it's going to be really interesting. We heard on Thursday again how the BSE is looking to launch an exchange, a CSR exchange. And so suddenly, different organizations, national institutions engaging in how CSR could be engaged in a different way will be fascinating to see. Madhu Suri of the Vodafone Foundation, great friend of Dazzler, as we said, launched the Mobile for Governance report. And this shows how we need, with the government, to strengthen the role of mobiles in governance. And I hope people caught the kind of killer facts that she shared with us, just some of them. The amazing example of 1,000 man-years saved. I mean, that's a staggering number, even in a big country like India. And 3,800 crores of taxes have been saved as well, all being directed into better causes. And ended with the lovely point that we need to allow India to be the very best version of itself. I do urge all of you, grab the reports, they're on the tables, take them home, read them, share them, let's get it out there. Okay. Then Davel. I can see Davel's going to make my life increasingly enjoyable. No, he raised the bar. We set out at the beginning of the day to raise 50 crore for governance, and in the course of a morning, in typical Davel action, he decided to double the goal, which is why we all want to work for him, why he's such an inspirational leader. Although team, of course, Sunday is now cancelled, so don't go too big tonight. But no, we really need people to get engaged. Please read the report. Please engage with us. We're here. Dazzler's point is to help educate people, help direct funds. Right to education and right to health. How encouraging was this session? I mean, I've heard so many times it's, oh, government's really hard to work with, government's this, government's that. And here today, we've got a group of government people, and they said, well, we've got these great examples of how we worked. We've done things. We've helped train 67,000 teachers in how to teach English. We're making differences up and down the country. And while Lewis continued his challenge to everybody to be brave, take risks, we did also hear the encouragement from the government to say, you know, thank you. That they basically, as NGOs, we need to go to the government and not say, what can you do for us, but what can we do for you, and engage them in that kind of way. And actually, I love Balaji's phrase, think big, start small, scale fast. And then you have to decide if you want to form a long-lasting marriage with the government. Okay. Batman. Justice Patel. What an epic session that was. In fact, he was pulled up for making light of it, and he's a wonderful speaker. But we can't make light of it. And in fact, it was claimed that the criminal justice system is the least studied area of governance, and it was even flagged as it could be the single greatest intervention as part of this government project. So, governance project. So we heard a number of interventions, but really, we need to act now. He proposed 2 different actions there. We need to do research and system development, but ultimately, we also need to unmask Batman, and this idea of creating annual reports, press coverage around it, and ensuring ownership of underperformance was fabulous. And we heard that it resonated with philanthropists, so let's see some action today, hey? Now, I'm not sure if this is strictly true, but I hope it is, that I can announce that everyone here probably has more access to tens of billions of dollars than they did at the start of the day. However, the bad news is you have no more influence, perhaps, than you did at the start of the day. I thought that was a wonderful line. And in fact, my neighbors said, this is the session I've been waiting for all day. And it was wonderful to hear them. Thank you for coming today, inspiring for all of us. Doing great work in India, and I thought it was really interesting some of the ideas that got brought out there, because anything from creating an index for organizations to engendering just a spirit of I can, or the ability to convene different people who are working on different challenges to work on the development sector challenge. And this idea has definitely caught people's imaginations around a public-spirited media launch of hands-off foundation. So let's see what comes of that. So, very near the end. So why governance? Let's go back to why we started the day. The day was about governance. We need to see governance as one of the most important interventions India needs right now to build a nation of equality, progress, and opportunity. We need to collaborate, fund, and lead. And really, what we're calling on is major donors to join the governance circle, or people to read the report, look at the 26 organizations we found, and engage with them. But from Batman to very serious words, which you'll find in our report, and I'm going to close with the words of somebody far more qualified than myself, which is Mr. Ajay Piramal, G. Piramal, chairman of the Piramal Group. And he says, no government or one civil society organization can fix it all. The investments required are both time and effort intensive. This is where the role of philanthropic capital assumes great importance. Unless we step up to create a robust governance framework, working in close collaboration with the government, and this is the bit that really super hit me, the transient benefits of other philanthropic interventions in education, healthcare, sanitation, etc., will be frittered away. Governance has to be the focus. So let's join us to help and create long-lasting sustainable influence. And please come and see me or my team or anybody at Dazzler if you want to talk about it. And let's turn up the walk factor. Sorry. Right. So now you've given me the microphone. I'm not going to give it up that easily. Okay? I'm not going to make you do a dance. I'm not going to make you run around, shuffle, etc. You have to join a DSI program for that. No, what I'm going to do is the thank yous, the all-essential thank yous. Of course, thank yous to our speakers and panelists. Thank you to our sponsor for today, the Vodafone Foundation, an incredible partner. And actually, we'd like to take this chance to thank for all the ongoing support to Dazzler, the support that allows us to run as an organization and keep our work going, to the Amidyar network as well. We need to thank the Taj Palace Hotel, who do excellent work at looking after us. And now we get down to the more personal ones. And actually, I'm going to ask, in fact, first of all, and I probably have some, there we go. Excellently, I love the gender sensitivity of this. We have two men presenting the prizes now, or other sidekicks. So, can I ask Neera or Davel to come on the stage, please, first? And actually, I'd like to get Kanan and Namita from the event organizing team. Are they here? No. And so David, I'm afraid you're off now. And we'll have Neera on stage, please. So, this is a major thank you, in fact, to the lady who's pulled this entire event off. And it's not just this day, it's the last 2 days. She texted me this morning, and today is meant to be day 6, and she said, I think it's day 500. A woman of great character and energy, a human dynamo, probably hiding right now, and a woman who keeps smiling and can think on her feet like nobody else. So I'd like to invite Gayatri Devecha on stage. And in fact, we've got one more for Abik, her entirely affable and capable number 2. The cheeriest man at Dasra. Yeah. Well, we haven't talked about this, but we normally get the whole Dazzler team on stage, don't we? Yeah? Indeed. So while we get the whole Dazzler team on stage, because as we know, Dazzler is all about collaboration. Dazzler is about bringing talent together. Dazzler is about thinking big. We have a truly awesome team, many of whom are over there, some over there, and we want to present them to you because we want to form friendships with you, ongoing relationships with you, so you should see who we are. So come on, Dazzler, but before you move, we need everybody else, while they're getting on stage, to fill in their feedback forms, please. As we know, feedback is the breakfast of champions, a much hackneyed phrase, but nonetheless still relevant. Yeah, as demonstrated. Yeah, so that's your ticket to the reception afterwards. If you want to come in, you need to provide a feedback form. It's very strict door policy. We have some very strong people at Dazzler. Yeah? Okay, cool. So to get there, right, go straight across into the ballroom. Fantastic. So come on, Dazzler, on stage. You can, yeah, we'll do a round of applause for Dazzler when they're actually up here. Yeah. Gets bigger and bigger. Exactly. We're not. No. This could be a logistical challenge. I think it was quite tough when I was here 2 years ago, and we had to get about 50 people on stage. Now we have 80. I think we'll have some people across the front of the stage as well. Go on, jump in. Faster. Yeah. So yes, just to remind you, do please join us in the reception across the hall in the ballroom. So look forward to seeing you there.